Okay, so I want to continue on this conversation. And here I'm so raw and live. Whatever comes out, comes out. I have some things kind of planned. Like today, I want to go over the definition of what I found in the dictionaries online or wherever in comparison to my definition. My definition of love is, and I improved on it from the last video. Love is attending to the emotional well being of another being. So, please watch my other video beforehand because today I'm going to go into what I see are the definitions in the dictionary and online dictionaries and how mine compares. An interesting thought I had, and I've had it for a while, but words that before human beings could actually verbalize and speak to one another in actual words, that is verbalization, there was grunts and actions. And then I believe that words, when they evolved, were short at first. So love is a short word. Hate is a short word. Hot, cold. They're all almost like one syllable words. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And I think that has some bearing as to the importance of the communication. Whereas words like affection, feelings, and other longer emotions. Emotion is the word that I don't believe the Bible has the word emotion in it, and I don't even think Shakespeare's works has the word emotion. It's a newer word with a newer, when there has been newer addition, when enlightenment has built upon the past, then new ways of awareness and enlightenment can occur by those that seek out to be enlightened or to actually help their fellow man and society. And I'd like to know when the word emotion, probably it's got to be during Jane Austen's time. I have to go back and look at some of her writings to see if the word I think the word emotion is in there, because she had the word sensibility, and she really took apart in story form all the sensibilities of how humans interacted and loved that. Anyway, moving on. I'm so long-winded with this, and I'm just so happy that if you stay with me, you do. So in the dictionary, they separate the definitions of love into noun and verb. Okay, so my definition is actually the verb. However, I see here when they go to describe the verb form, they talk about feelings. So feelings are what comes alongside with the love. It's like comes along with it, but it is not love. Sensations, motivations, drives, they all come along with the presence or the lack of love. So my definition is a verb, but let me go through the nouns first, and you'll see that it's all about feelings, and the examples and the phrases that are used are all feelings and not an action. And they're almost like one-sided. Even with the verb definition, it's like one-sided. It's like what one individual feels for another, whereas my definition is two people. Okay, because they will give a definition, one in relation to another, someone's own in relation to another, whereas my definition can be applied to even the self, as I described in my my other video, the vertical video with my hood on. So here we go. Here's a dictionary definition: an intense feeling of deep affection. Okay, so that to me, it's one-sided and it's a feeling. Okay, and the word affection is very nice, but that goes along with when attending to the emotional well-being of another being is present. That can then be characterized as affection. See, this is characterizations, traits, and attributes are not definitions. They're characteristics, attributes, and traits. So this is the difference. Babies fill parents with feelings of love, fondness, tenderness, warmth, intimacy, attachment. I mean, I love all these words because it's what springs out of when love is being administered or is present. Okay, it's even difficult for me to say when love is present. Present, it means that there's the two parties mutually exchanging with reciprocity the action of attending to the emotional well-being of the other being. And as I said in my other video, this can go with friends, siblings, even animals, human to animal, animal to human, animal to animal. Okay, so you see that with animals. And after the presence of the emotional well-being, attending to the emotional well-being of another being, that then underneath that is providing the roof over the head and feeding. So animals do that too. They provide a roof over the head and feed their young, and they also and that's all part of it. But and it's after, when it's in preparation for, so that when um, the parents of the animals, you see them keeping their young warm. There's a physical uh, interaction there. They're caring. They respond to the cry. They attend to the being and take care of whatever it needs to take care of, that needs to be taken care of, to soothe and comfort. So soothing and comfort are actions that go along with attending to the emotional being of another being. Here again, here's another one from the online dictionary: a feeling of deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone. So that is taking away the emotional well-being, attending to the emotional well-being of another, and just having the romantic or sexual attachment and the feeling. So, as I said in my other video, romantic interest is what is added after there is the foundation. That's the only difference with partner sharing um, of the interaction is that there's a romantic interest. So again, they said the word feelings when it's a noun. Affectionate greetings conveyed to someone on one's behalf. Give her my love. Oh my gosh. I mean, in my opinion, you see, the devil wants to attack. There's two things to hear why this word love has been described in so many ways. When, most likely, my estimation is when the word came about, it was pure. And then, and it was shared. And then the term began being used loosely to describe feelings and affection. Okay. Now, because love is the greatest of all, and what we were designed to do and be as human beings, and like all creatures, for their young and for their partners, the devil wants to attack that. So the more watered down and confusing this definition, the greater power that evil has. So That's why there's misuse of the word, and that's why, in my belief, that it has been evil that takes uh, this action and interaction apart to water it down, and then people don't know exactly what it is, and then they use it incorrectly, either on purpose for manipulation, or yeah, that's basically it. But manipulation. um, a formula for ending an affectionate letter. So these are all how it's applied, but it's not saying what it is. A personified figure of love, often represented as Cupid. All right, well, these don't make any sense as to what love, the definition of love. When you go to the dictionary, you look up definitions. So this is why I'm laboring over this. A great interest and pleasure in something. So that goes into object relations. His love for football. Well, there's no emotionally attending to it. You might have strong emotions but there's no attending to it and building it in a where there's a reciprocity. I mean, perhaps the football loves it, but it's not the same. It's not garnering uh, warmth, tenderness, intimacy, attachment, deep affection. You see, um, where the object. This is the other thing that I put in my play. Um, Object relations is a very awesome discovery that Freud initiated, and it has been built upon awesomely. Erickson's stages of development and whatnot, and even Jane Austen, and I found even as there's a song that the Little Rascals Alfalfa sings, "The object of my affection." Well, back in the day, they would call humans objects, which is very interesting, um, because nowadays when we hear that those expressions and sentiments being used, we think, oh, they're objectifying someone, or they're treating so and so as an object, which is very well and true. However, the the beginnings of where this terminology began is important to examine and include in this dissection of the conversation in regards to the word love and its usage. So let's go on. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them. And then it's also calling someone love, a friendly form of address in British. It's all right, love, or my love. My former borderline spouse, I would call him my love, and he would say that I love you, and obsessively and compulsively, yet the actions and the follow through was not there. So that's where the use of the word love is being used loosely, because it wasn't identified and attached to what I described, which is emotionally attending to the emotional well-being of another being. It's interesting how in tennis love is a score of 0. That is just almost mind, when you think about the word love in terms of that, why they came up with that, it's very interesting and mind-blowing, actually. But that's another way to water down the word, I suppose. Okay, so now we get into the verb in the dictionary. Deep, feel deep, again, feel. They're using the word feel deep affection for someone. Okay, well, that's one-sided, right? He loved his sister dearly. Okay, you could love someone dearly. That means, it could mean that only one person is attending to the emotional well-being of the other, and that it's not reciprocal. Okay, so the idea is that it's got to be reciprocal and mutual. There's got to be a mutuality and a reciprocity to the process. It's a process. An action is a process. Another verb they have here is like or enjoy very much. I just love dancing. That's okay. So, with my definition applied, that is a misuse of the word. It's those are more like feelings, all right? Like to like very similar is to like very much, delight in, enjoy greatly, have a passion for. Those are all fall underneath once it has been established that emotional well-being is being attended to. To be in love, that to be in love is, like I said in my other video, is also um, the general idea is that it has a romantic connotation. Be infatuated with is a feelings and characteristics that come along with love, but one-sided infatuation or one-sided passion, when that dies away, or if it dies away, I don't believe that passion and infatuation, when love is present, ever dies away. So another misuse of sentiments and application is when therapists talk about the state the stages of love where it's no longer, they say love gets old. That does not fit into the description. That is evil working its way into to plant in people's minds why or how something went off in the relationship. So love never gets old, nor does passion or the infatuation, which fits under passion. So that's romantic. And it's different than obsession. Another great thing is we have all these words, but they have to be used correctly. Okay. And then there's phrases here that are interesting. Let me see here. To fall in love. Fall in love means, that to me, that expression is strange, but it's okay. Falling seems to be you're falling for somebody. They may not fall for you. Does that mean that both are willing to? It should mean that both are willing to emotionally attend to the other's well-being with mutuality and reciprocity, plus have a romantic interest. That they talk about the romantic interest. To fall out of love, that again has to do with romantic interest and no longer having the desire to not only interact romantically, but to provide the attending to the other's emotional well-being, which is fine to happen because it's not supposed to happen with true love or real love or authentic love. You see how we have to have all these other ways of describing love because the word love has been bastardized or watered down or misused, not used correctly. Because love is eternal, as they say, right? We've all heard that expression. So there should be no such thing as falling out of love. You're falling out of you're falling out of your commitment, you're, and it takes, it's two people that phrase entails. For love, he played for the love of the game, misused for the love of God. That's like blasphemous. For the love of Mike, exasperation. Love is blind. Um, love is blind is probably a very old phrase and saying makes people unable to see their faults. I really question that love is blind because what I experience is I turned a blind eye. Love turns a blind eye instead of love is blind. Okay. That means that there was an investment and you still want a good return on your investment and you keep pouring in because you think you're going to get a good return. This is what happens when someone like me is unguided, unaware, unschooled as to what to look for. Okay, so that's when love turns a blind eye. So that means, again, it was one side. Love is blind means that it's one-sided. Love me, love my dog. Um, accept everything about that. That's misuse. I mean, really. That's like accept me for who I am, or love me or leave me, or what you see is what you get. That's all like I'm not going to change, or I'm not going to accommodate, or, I will not have compassion for you. So all those attributes and characteristics changing for somebody, um, having compassion is already present when someone has decide when two people have decided that they make that it is a good thing to share and grow and expand their love and work on it. Work has such another awful connotation. That's what I attend to, and attend to their love. And attending to the love is also making sure that you're attending to yourself and understanding all the characteristics and attributes and and dedication that needs to go on to inside the one person to ensure that what you are giving to the other, that you're still okay, you're still the book I'm okay, you're okay, you're still attending to yourself to make yourself accessible and available to be able to continue to give what is needed to participate in this interaction. The love that dare not to speak. Oh, that's for homosexuality. My definition covers various sexes, like even animals. Like I said, it doesn't. Love has no color. Love is. It's attending to the emotional well-being of another being. That's why it's a parent, filial, sibling, friend, right? And then you have the romantic interest on top. So if the romantic interest is homosexual, then that's what it is. To make love, okay, that's another one. That's strange because you're supposed to already have love, the interaction of emotionally attending to the well-being of another being, to then be sexually involved. Okay, not for love or money, not for any inducement or in any. They'll not return for love or money. That's interesting. Not for love or money, meaning that they're not going to be willing to come back to the table to be able to share the attending to the emotional well-being of another being. Okay, there's no love lost between. There is a mutual dislike between the people mentioned. That means that there was never attending to the emotional well-being of the other. That's what that means for me. All right, so now let's go to the Greeks with their awesome digging. They dug too. They wanted to figure it out too. Eros, sexual passion. So that's, like I said, in my definition comes, it's the additional layer for partners, right? Filial, deep friendship. Okay, fits with my definition. Ludus, playful love. Of course, you have to be playful. Ludus, like ludicrous. Playfulness is attending to the part of the emotional world. So you're attending to that area. All this needs attention. Agape, love for everyone. Well, that covers all that I just described as far as attending to the emotional well-being of another being. The beings can be parental, filial, sibling, friend, and partner, right? Which, if one has the capacity and the ability to attend to the emotional well-being of the other because they've already understood it for themselves, then they have the ability to share it with everyone that they choose, which is agape. I think agape goes into just the concept of it, the concept of the capacity to be able to do that, or the desire to do that. Pragma, long-standing love. Okay, well, you see how a lot of these uh, these definitions, which are nice and short, um, have a descriptive adjective before the word love. So this is long-standing love. Well, love never dies. Okay, when love is there, love never dies. It might end with some, for unfortunately, with it doesn't even end. Love is unending. There's just a choice to, like, when I had to break up with my former spouse, which was extremely emotionally painful and difficult. Um, what I said to him was, I cannot give my love to you anymore, which means that I didn't lose the love. My love is forever, but I could not give it to him anymore because I realized that it wasn't ever going to be mutual or with reciprocity. We weren't of like kind. We weren't evenly yoked. All right. Um, Philatua, love of the self. Okay, yeah, I see the word fellatio in there. It's probably where, yeah, it's fine. Love of the self, that is what we have to do first, which is the internal work, or the internal attention, or acknowledgement and awareness. That's acknowledging God, you know, so that you could turn inwardly to assess how your emotions are, how your feelings, your sensations, what's going on inside. Storg, or storge, is another Greek Greek breakdown of the types of love. They had 8 different types of love. So storge is family love. Yeah. So my definition is winning. All right. It's up to, it's really doing well with all this. It's standing up. And mania is obsessive love. Obsessive, that's an unhealthy. Okay. So mania is one of the 8. Okay. So obsessive, is the absence of equilibrium, right? The absence of moderation and temper. So that could distort people's abilities. So when mania is present, there is no love. But the Greeks did a very good job with this. However, it will come to a close now, and say once again that my definition of love is attending to the emotional well-being of another being has stood up to the tests of these definitions and these Greek types of love. And of course, there's more thoughts, but I will come back to them. I think one of them is emotional well-being of another being. Yeah, again, because this definition could not exist because evil, and I like to call myself an angel warrior at this point, but evil wants to take it down, take it apart. If people are confused, confusion is part of the realm of evil, right? I didn't go into maybe next time I'll bring out the list from Marshall, what's his name, Marshall something, with the Center for Nonviolent Communication. I expanded on all the words we have that describe what's on what side, the dark side and the light side. And some people are guided by light, and some people are guided by darkness. Anyone who doesn't entertain or ascribe to the idea of evil, well, don't find yourself saying or understanding what it means when someone says so and so has not faced their demons yet. You're using the word devil, right? You have to have the understanding of what that is. Okay. All right. I'm so tired. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching.